Well, my experience as a law student was that tuitions were far lower. I think I paid about $3,300 per year thereabouts, and although I had some student debt, it wasn't a major concern on my mind when I came out of law school. I could look for basically any kind of job that interested me. I wanted to find the jobs and the work and the legal practice that I wanted to do. And no doubt those other opportunities were available to me to try to to work in the Bay Street firms or in Vancouver, the big firms on Pender and whatnot. But I was interested in looking for the work that I found more meaningful. Today, I just don't know if that's really possible, because you come out of law school with these absurd debts where people are paying tuitions 10 times what I did, and the pay for progressive law work or social justice careers really has not increased significantly in the last 20 years. So I don't know how students are doing it today. I just know that I was very fortunate when I came through, that I could make the decision on the kind of career that I wanted, not based on the debt that I had. I've been practicing social justice law now for over 10 years. I've had my own law firm for 5 years and employ usually around 3 lawyers. And when I'm looking at articling students or potential articling students, it really concerns me, because I know that almost all of those students are coming out of law school with really significant debt. And frankly, I can't pay them enough money to really overcome those debts. I recognize the sacrifices they're making in coming and working for me, not simply in foregoing the higher salaries, but in trying to manage that huge student debt that they have. And frankly, for students from some law schools, like U of T, for example, where they're paying over $30,000 in tuition, those students just aren't realistic to me at all. I just don't know how anyone could plausibly work for me. Really, it's strange, but it really kind of restricts social justice law to those students who are very privileged and come from elite backgrounds, who can basically afford to pay for all their law school and then work for the lower salary that I can offer to my employees. So it's making it increasingly difficult for me to manage my practice and get people on board to work with me. As a member of the legal profession, I'm really concerned about this access to justice issue. I think that there's all kinds of different areas of social justice law, whether it's disability income support or prisoners' rights, criminal law, frankly, human rights law. These are all areas of law where there is not as much pay, but there's a lot of very intelligent, excellent young lawyers who want to work in those areas, but the pay is simply not there to cover the debts that they have. And I think that is an access to justice issue. As fewer and fewer law students are prevented from working in those areas, that means fewer lawyers available to service those disadvantaged groups. And I think that's a serious issue for the entire legal community. I'm really disappointed that no law schools have taken a stand on this issue and insisted that they keep their tuitions low. For example, locally here, the University of Ottawa calls itself the Social Justice Law School, but I don't see them walking the walk on that in making legal education affordable. And the Law Society, I think, as well, has really abandoned those areas of practice, and I really worry about the future of the practice of law and representation for people, for people who really, in my view, deserve legal representation the most.